Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Decode with Chinar. And today we have a very special guest with us on our podcast. He's not only a chef, but also a restaurateur and a consulting chef for a Michelin-plated Indus in Bangkok and the author of Stay With Indus. If there's anyone who knows how to balance creativity, business, and brand building in food and beverage industry, it's him, Chef Nishant. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chinar. You are very kind and good to see you.
Good to see you after a really long time.
Yes.
Chef, I want to know, first of all, congratulations on the launch of your new book. And
Thank you.
I am actually very curious to know what is this book all about and how did you come up with the name and what was your inspiration?
So I always wanted to write because I believe that book remains forever.
Yeah.
So it's basically showcase of your personality or your research, your work, your
Mm-hmm.
struggle, which is very important, and then how you come up from there and then probably rise to the occasion. So I always had this thing on me that I really want to write this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been talking to Dr. Pushpesh Panji, that's sir, and he said that you have got 25 years of history with you.
Hmm.
You cannot put everything in one book. So you should
Yes.
have at least five books in hand for
Yes.
people to. So this is the first one. But
Okay.
yes, I was not knowing that what is the nitty gritty of writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
So I started meeting people. I started reading also of various reputed chefs and how
Mm-hmm.
they have written it. So I picked up this subject called Stay with Indus because Indus Valley civilization, which is around 5,000 years old,
Mm-hmm.
is very people are very curious to know that what was it. I mean,
Yes.
it's also called as IVC.
Yes.
So it is the way how India shaped up, and it is from Leh Ladakh till Pakistan, and the
Mm-hmm.
robust Indian cuisine actually lives there.
Yes.
So the restaurant that I did in Bangkok called Indus, which is already in Michelin plate.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, why not I take this subject? But this book also has my history alongside it. So I've
Mm-hmm.
tried my best to captivate recipes across that line and showcase them in my nouvelle way, the way I do it. I always try to do something new. So that's me.
Right.
That's
Yes.
my personality. So through this book, I'm trying to convey people, if especially to students who are in the college, coming from a three-tier city, from
Mm-hmm.
Ranchi, Bokaro, which
Mm-hmm.
is very unknown. And, you can't even imagine. This is the first book which someone has written from my village. You can imagine that.
Oh
So today
wow.
I've got a notification, Chinar, that the entire village is celebrating your success. So you can imagine the kind of joy that I have right now. Unfortunately, I lost my mother in between.
That's sorry to
So
hear about it.
I'm 100% dedicating this book to my mother, who is unfortunately no more. It was a torrid time in our life, in our family. But yes, finally, wherever mom is, she should be happy about the son that he has done something good in his life.
Sorry to hear about it, but I'm sure she must be very proud to see this book and you dedicated all of this to her.
Yes, yes.
So kudos to you. And like you mentioned in your conversation, in our conversation right now, that you are the first chef or first person in your village to write about this book. So, what actually was in your mind? Did you want to actually be out there from a three-tier city to, let the world know about your own culture? Or was it just, helping people from three-tier city break that notion of, we cannot do it, or it is very difficult to be at this point from being from that kind of place?
I think good question, Chinar. I think I would take it as a blessing that I am coming from three-tier city
Mm-hmm.
because then my opportunity to excel is more
Right.
because you have things which are not done still.
Yes.
So I think when I thought of writing a book, no book is no chef author you find. I don't know how many from Jharkhand also as an entire state.
Hmm.
So so this was an opportunity for me also to reflect, to showcase people that you can also do it. I think this gives a lot of motivation. Today the entire village is happy. Today my entire family is happy. 22nd is the day I'm doing launch. So the deputy prime chief minister of the state, he's part of it. He's very excited. How come a guy like this, that too, Khansama Bawarchi,
Hmm.
he's writing a book. So you can
Yes.
imagine the kind of joy, and you can imagine. I hope this is not the only book. I hope people take inspiration, and there'll be many. This is what my responsibility is now, because I've been also giving a lot of platform to people from my state, from my village. I think this is my responsibility to bring out people who are very amazing, to bring out food, to bring it out culture, to bring it out festival, to
Hmm.
showcase ingredient, to celebrate happiness with other guys, and this is what I have been doing now. And I'm gonna write this next one also, that is Cuisine of Jharkhand, is my next, where I want to collaborate with Dr. Manisha. We are rich. We have 32 tribes in our state, and all tribes are very different, and they're very amazing people, and the cuisine is very vast and very
Absolutely.
foraged, very soulful, and very clean and neat. I mean, neat and clean. One can go and explore and understand. We always underestimate our stuff. Whatever we have,
Right.
we never give it due importance. So I
That's
think I am
absolutely
also
right.
the victim of the same, that I have never given due importance to my stuff. So I think I realized this today, and I hope many realize and comes up to the forefront.
Right, right. Absolutely. Always be proud of your roots and valuing about who we are. That's the most authentic self, right?
Correct.
So, another question that comes up to my mind whenever I see you and when I first met you at one of your restaurants,
Yeah.
I had this question like, Chef, you've had a long journey and you have had
Yeah.
like successful ventures. You've done like international restaurants in Australia, in Bangkok. But what made you start this journey or what made you choose this path from, this is kind of non conventional career,
Correct.
when you started. So, what was your, reason of starting this?
So, Chinar, I think I was not very good at studies, but yes, I mean, I used to study. Nothing like that. I had never studied, but I was coming from teacher's family. It was more games than study, by the way. But there was hardly any distraction,
Hmm.
related to what is now.
Hmm.
So, whatever time I used to get, I used to study. I was very good in maths. So, I always wanted to be engineer. That too, I must confess that. But gave my first attempt, I could not get through, and my friends came, and they were already studying in IHM. So
Hmm.
they actually told me that it's an amazing career with 3 6 figure salary. You
Hmm.
get to meet Amitabh Bachchan, and you get to meet everyone with with no appointments and all. So I
Okay.
was kind of carried away, frankly speaking. I never wanted to be chef to start off.
Okay.
But yes, when I got IHM, when I went and started, I kitchen also, because kitchen is the place where I mean, in my days, you are more confined to that place which is dark. You are cooking, you are sweating out, you are finishing your work, and don't want to face guests. So this
Hmm.
was why I choose kitchen. Let me also confess the same in front of you.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this was the reason. I mean, but yes, I started enjoying it. I mean, started enjoying it from, I think, after 2 months of my kitchen work, I started thinking that, yo, what, I can do something here. And my parents were like very saying that this is the money that we kept for you. If you
Hmm.
if you flunk now, then there's no career for you. Believe me, I mean, we cannot give you another chance, because average middle class family parents.
Hmm.
So, but yes, I mean, that was a pressure for me, that if I flunk, then I'm not gonna go back to my parents. Say that, give me
Hmm.
money again. I will do another business. I want
Hmm.
I want to be part of another work.
Hmm.
So, but yes, I mean, I started enjoying it. During my leisure time, I used to go out and started working in different F&B places. I still
Okay.
remember. I can quote some Salim's Dhaba. He used to make
Hmm.
very amazing rumali roti. So
Okay.
so there was a deal between me and Salim bhai. I said,
Okay.
Salim bhai, you teach me how to make rumali roti, and I'm not gonna charge you anything. I'm just gonna come and just give me a few stuff to eat.
Hmm.
So after my studies, my college, I used to go to his place. There's another bakery. I was good in bakery. Just to tell you, bakery was my first choice in
Okay.
kitchen. So I
Okay.
went to I used to go to Ravi Shankar. My college was Bhopal, IHM, and
Okay.
there's a guy called Sunil Dudani. He's in US. He's in New York right now. In fact, in my
Okay.
last visit, I met him. I was very
Okay.
proud. So
Okay.
I told him, sir, I really want to learn how to, bake, and how to do pastry and confectionery and brasserie and all. So he
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, I'm going to teach you. You really want to, you're a hardworking guy and this and that. 3 days in Salim's place and 3 days in Ravi Shankar with no
Okay.
money attached to it. I mean, just for free. But I think those are the instances of life which makes you great, which
Hmm.
is always remains with you. And whatever I learned from these people, it came so handy in my life. I can't tell you. So, but then
Right.
after that, there was absolutely no looking back. I got good marks in my age. Then I got
Mm-hmm.
Uber Hotel to work with. Then God was kind, and then I got Dubai. I got a
Mm-hmm.
call to go to and work in Madina Jumeirah, which was like the pre-opening team member. So beautiful
Okay.
property with 11 restaurants inside it. I worked at Pier Sheikh, which is this restaurant is the most romantic restaurant in Dubai. It is in the
Wow.
middle of sea. Then
Okay.
then Segreto, Mina Salam, Alhambra. 3 years I worked in Dubai, and then I came back to India.
Hmm.
Started got called from Olive and worked with Chef Sabi. Great place, amazing food, great guests. You can see Amitabh Bachchan and Shabana Azmi is right in front of you.
Yes.
Then Rosier came into picture, opened several projects, several
Wow.
restaurants for Rosier. Then traveled. Then Japan came out, and then Tokyo Mithai Wala happened. Then Clo, Vancouver.
Oh, yes.
Then Rani, New Jersey.
Yeah.
That again is the latest thing after Chef Vikas Khanna did Bungalow. So yeah, I think there's one that I have signed now in Singapore. So I'll be working
Oh, that.
for that. I just went and did a little bit of research. So
Congratulations.
I
Yeah.
think so much
I think
happened in my life.
before you were launching your book, you were, shooting a video from there that you are
Yes,
going to be in Delhi launching your book. I saw
yes,
that video on your Instagram.
yes.
So, congratulations. You have like an amazing international,
Thank you.
exposure. You made your way, like you mentioned, you were not into being a chef, but you managed and navigated your way.
Yes.
So,
Also Chinar, just to add up, I
hmm,
was more into European cooking. I was
okay.
fascinated again. Gorai style of food and how one can confit or braise or steam or poach
Hmm.
or slow cooking. So
Right.
Indian these words don't exist in Indian food, right?
Yes.
These works
Yes.
like we have a pressure cooker which is an amazing equipment, and I always say it's one thing that I always carry when I go abroad.
Okay.
It's a beautiful piece of machine that is quite economical. Also, every household can actually afford that.
Right, right,
You don't need
right.
combi oven. So if our pressure
Right.
cookers are combi oven because you braise, steam, cook, faster cooking as well. So yes, but I started looking Indian food with European thoughts.
Hmm.
I think that came very handy for me, and that came really nice. And I think this adds to my reputation in terms of cooking. That I started looking at cleaner food, not overloaded. You have tasted some of my dishes, Chinar. I'm very fortunate
Right.
that you could have understand the kind of harmony that I create. I don't overdo it. I don't.
Yes.
I mean, I don't do too much of fusion, but I
Hmm.
progress things. So I think that is how you should do. I mean, people are listening to us. They should all travel, and seeing is believing, eating is
Hmm.
believing. I mean, you have
Right.
to touch the ingredient to believe it more.
Right.
So I think this is how I am shaping it as of now, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Absolutely. I have personally tasted your food and I have, shot a lot of videos with you where I
Yeah.
was helping you and I was seeing the kind of, cooking that you do and the fusion you create. Like you
Yes.
mentioned, you actually took few European techniques and, merged it with Indian cuisine because
Yes.
Indian cuisine definitely has a lot of diverse ingredients. But,
Yes.
creating a fusion will always be something that, people would enjoy, like you're
Correct.
giving the taste of Europe in India, basically,
Correct.
with the
Correct.
same ingredients. So, talking about traveling, so how do you think traveling has impacted being like first is you got to explore first in India, right? So, this is a very glamorous field of being a chef. But I want to know the realities behind it initially when you started your career and to the point you are right now? How was the transition for somebody who's starting out the career like you and aspire to be, a restaurateur, or somebody who wants to own a restaurant or start their own ventures? So how was that transition for you?
Actually, I think again, amazing question. So you have to have that patience. Patience is the key in this business. Let me put it straight away. Tell you this fact.
Hmm.
Of course, I can't take out exception who become amazing in 2 days time. But yes, 99% of the chefs, not only me, who are successful, have gone through various phases of in life, and I have
Hmm.
huge respect for them. So
Right.
you have to have, you cannot get six-figure salary in day one. You have to
Hmm.
really work it out. And if you look at the opportunities havoc, I mean, in my time the opportunities were not so much.
Hmm.
But nowadays, if you see the transition which has happened, it
Right.
has glorified, it has made our life absolutely amazing. We have become very glamorous, I would say. Salaries
Right.
have become very glamorous. Chefs are
Right.
given lot of respect. Okay, now at least people have started realizing that it is not khansama, it is not bawarchi, it is a
Right.
chef. You
Right.
see any platform, you see online, offline, any I was cooking at IFA just now.
Right.
There again, we had it was chefs. It was all about chefs.
Mm-hmm.
Every actor who came, he was very, very particular that this is what my food should be. And
Right.
Salt did the catering, and we were cooking in that live in front of them. Frankly speaking, I didn't feel like taking a picture with Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, let me
Okay.
put it
Okay.
in this way, that
Okay.
earlier it was like that, oh, let's go. I see him, it is his business, it's mine business. So
Right.
I'm Shah Rukh Khan of my business, and he is
Right.
doing acting, I'm cooking. So now you can understand the kind of opportunity, but for sure you have to keep the patience and never say no to any opportunities which come to your life. I always tell this to the guys. And you have
Hmm.
to give time, you have to learn. Like, you have 4 years or 3 years in college, give another 2 years to yourself. Think
Right.
that you are still in the college, learn. Indian food you can't learn in one life. I mean, it is
Right.
so vast. Every lane, it's about not about regional cuisine of India, it's about sub-regional cuisine of India. There are
Absolutely.
lanes which are selling 365 days, same food, super
Hmm.
amazing food, much more economical, pocket friendly, consistent every day. So you
Hmm.
need to go and eat and feel and taste, and you have to give, add your professionalism to it and
Right.
make it look and present it to expats.
Hmm.
I think this is how this is my take is that there are brilliant things coming by, but for
Hmm.
that you have to prepare yourself.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful advice. Like nowadays, Gen Zs and millennials, they have little patience and they want quick things, like quick
And Chinar, we
success.
also have bad days in our life. It is always good days that we talked about. We
Yeah.
also flunk sometime. We also one little mistake.
Hmm.
Your mindset is, oh, he's not a great chef. He's not doing
Right.
his work nicely.
Right.
So it is not that every day is a great day in our life, and we don't go with baggage.
Right.
Whatever reputation that we have, it's passé. We start fresh.
Right.
And if there's anything wrong, I would repeat, then no one is there to spare us. So it looks very glamorous, but there's a lot of things which is going on at that.
Absolutely.
So whatever ingredient you got, say, imagine you are cooking in some other place, it's not your comfort cooking place, but
Right.
there also, you indent for stuff and you don't get it. But
Hmm.
still you have to have that kind of thing, that you maneuver, you look at how you can do it without that particular ingredient.
Hmm.
Still the guests are guests.
Right. Absolutely right. So, being a chef today is not about cooking, just cooking. Like I realize while I'm having a discussion with you. So, how do you balance all of these roles, like being an author now, owning a lot of restaurants, being a consulting chef, and making a brand of your own? So, how do you balance this?
I think
Like three tips that you would suggest for somebody who wants to do it.
it is very important to communicate. If you are
Hmm.
doing hard work, if I'm not able to share this to people, then it's not done.
Right.
Then it's half-hearted.
Right.
So first and foremost, you need to be good in the kitchen and also to communicate well. I think this is
Right.
important.
Hmm.
Second thing is that you have to train. Training is very important. You have to train your staff. So what I do is, because I have several things going on, even if I'm not there, the restaurant is running. I make very good team. I ensure that the team is really well traveled, good
Hmm.
in attitude. You have to be great in attitude. That
Right.
you say I don't know, I'm very happy. If you say I know everything in this world, there is that means you have an attitude. So it
Right.
is about team, it is not about individual. This book is about team. This book is about people who have done greatness in my life. So
Okay.
this is an acknowledgement. It also has quotes with from Chef Vikas Khanna, from Chef Ranbir Barar. Whatever time we met, we have amazing times together.
Right.
It has all chefs name who have done greatness to my life. So
Hmm.
it's about team, how you create your team and move forward. Because if you are little bit, if you're enthusiastic in the life, then you have to build a great team to make sure that you add more to your kitty. So I think this is what I do.
Okay. So, like, team building plays a major role in
Yes.
balancing everything. That's
Yes.
what you want to say. Okay.
Yes.
That's certainly a very good acknowledgement that you give to your team, because in today's world you cannot, and I would say not like any time there was in life where you can actually just prosper on your own. It's
Chinar,
always
a
about.
small example, me, you, Ekta, Kunal, Nikita, we used to shoot reels, right? I would have done it by myself also,
Right, right,
right? But
right.
how amazing it was that we all come together from all different
Backgrounds.
horizons, from different platforms, and we all came and did successful duty, I would say. So I
Right.
think this is this small example of what how I look at it.
And I think these are the times when you just, work with your team and other people. You enjoy it more when you are around people, learning from them, just listening to their stories. And that's how, team gets connected. Like people connect to you, right? So, like, you know, in today's, like you mentioned, communication and letting people know that you're doing your hard work is also one thing. And social media in like last, I would say, decade has played a major role in building a brand's presence or somebody's personal brand. And I come from a world of social media marketing. And amazing food is not just enough if you don't let people know about it. So, do you think storytelling about your food has something to do with your marketing, branding of the restaurant business today?
I know, I completely agree. I mean, think that is very important. Look at Chef Ranbir Barar, how he is doing it. Look at Chef Vikas Khanna, how they are doing it. It is amazing. I mean, if you don't share, if you don't let people know, and I think this is a platform which people are increasingly using it. So if it goes to every person, that they'll come to know about what is going on and what are the good things that you have. Although there are chefs who don't do it, let me also
Hmm.
put it in that way.
Right.
But yes, I think there's always good thing attached to all these gadgets that we have. Look at the AI intelligence now. The other day I was looking at it. There was some voice which was saying that you can do whatever in this world, and it was all fabricated by AI. So
Hmm.
I think we also, we are also using a lot of AI in our life by using machines which are giving consistent result. So it is
Oh, wow.
about how you look at technology and using it to the best of the best in the way and making your life slightly easy. I think I would put it in that way. If you have stories, I think this is a great platform to share for people who are watching you. There's a motivation. If I'm here, I can talk to a French chef and ask him for a recipe online.
Right.
I can look at his reel and I can get inspiration and probably do my stuff in a better way. So
Hmm.
for me, definitely, I think I would advise to get inspired, use it, but don't overuse it.
Right. Right. So, like, I always advise my like restaurant owners and people I meet in the restaurant industry to actually use a lot of relatability for the audience. Tell, like, make them see the behind the scenes of a kitchen, because people don't know what's going on
Right.
in their kitchen,
Right.
and their customer experience, or maybe show some dishes, or maybe chef interactions. So do you think these kind of tactics have really worked well for like your restaurants or the brands you have worked with, or is it like you feel like this is the over usage of social media?
No, I think it is wise. It's a very wise move, I would say, because I think how it is being cooked in the kitchen, if it is being shown to the customer, I think the customer would feel better. I think
Hmm.
post COVID, I can see a lot of rise in this also. In fact, at
Okay.
Roseate House, I remember they installed CCTV TV in the kitchens, and the
Oh,
guests
that's
had an app where
okay.
they could see how their dishes are getting prepared. So in this way,
That's a
what happens
wonderful
is
move.
you have to be clean.
Right.
Even if there's any kind of discrepancy, you have to sort it out right then and there.
Hmm.
So I think this is very wise, and I would highly recommend this.
Hmm.
There are kitchens which are still not that neat and clean. I think for them it's a lesson.
Hmm.
For them it's a warning also. I would say that it's better you work clean, not in the
Right.
front of the guest, but your back of the house should also be as clean as front of the house.
Right. 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 So, like we were discussing about AI, and I feel now AI is such an amazing invention, I would say. Like anybody who is even not a chef and have like 10 ingredients and you don't know what to cook, you just put AI, like you just tell AI that I have these ingredients and share something, a very amazing recipe with me, or anything you say, AI is there. So has AI actually impacted or helped chef in general, or it has been always a secondary thing that you have not taken a lot of help from?
So there are two sides of it. You know, there's a threat also because it is cutting manpower. It is giving ideas to entrepreneurs that you can work with lesser staff.
Right.
Positive impact is that even if you are somewhere else, your food is still very consistent.
Right.
I've seen Knox launched a machine at this ahar
Mm-hmm.
where you can video call it, and
Okay.
he will do video calling. He will work according to how you talk to a friend. So the machine becomes your friend. So you can imagine the gadget which is going right now.
Hmm.
I mean, they showed live demonstration of roast chicken. So I
Okay.
was calling from far, and they said, "Oh, roast the chicken," and the machine is saying, "Yes, I'm ready." What temperature? I said 220. I
Hmm.
said, "Okay, let me start." So they started. I said, "Are you fine?" This machine said, "Are you fine with the color?" I said, "No, I want a little more color." So he just cooked again. "Are you okay? Should I stop cooking?" Can you imagine?
Okay.
So,
That's interesting.
but I enjoy. I like machines. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
like to work with them. I have all
Mm-hmm.
kind of machine that I use when I cook live in front of the guest.
Right.
So there are both sides of it. We have to intelligently blend it in our kitchens. Okay,
Hmm.
but we cannot take human touch away because
Right.
even if roast chicken, someone has to marinate it and put it inside, right? So
Hmm.
that is still required. But going forward, I can see more stuff coming into AI business, which will make us our life easy. But there's a threat attached to it.
Okay. I would like to mention one gadget I saw in US. I was just watching on Instagram. So there's a gadget here in the US where you actually put all the ingredients in the like
Thermomix.
different containers, and you just need to select the recipe.
It's called
And
Thermomix. Chennai, it's called Thermomix.
okay, okay.
It's a blender, but it has got amazing characteristics, is what you're saying, right? See,
It
gajar
was
ka
not.
halwa ka mousse. If you have to make gajar halwa mousse, it's called
No, no, it
Thermomix.
is not a blender, but it is a device where if you are not there,
Mhm.
supposedly the person who cooks in the house is not available. So the other person who is there doesn't know any recipe or something. He just need to add the ingredient in different containers, and the machine will do rest of it. You just need to select what you want to make, and it'll do it everything on
Yeah,
its
yeah.
own.
There are
So
machines.
there is something I have with these kind of machines. Do you think the taste, for example, if something is automated, the taste is actually the same, or do you think it is very different from what people would like? What are your thoughts on that?
So I have seen biryani getting cooked in combi oven. I have seen mousse getting cooked in combi oven.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen in Thermomix. I have seen cakes getting baked. But if you
Okay.
say butter chicken and dal makhni, I have not seen that. Let me put it in that way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there is a categorization of in I mean what kind of cooking you want to do. Like you made gajar ka halwa, but you have to make a mousse out of it. So that Thermomix that I'm talking about, it
Hmm.
will blend and make a very amazing silky mousse. It will also weigh, you know,
Okay.
it will also weigh. It will bake. It will roast. So everything it'll done. And I have experienced this at Gagan
Okay.
uses Thermomix a lot in his kitchen. And all the modern lookout kitchens or modern chefs, they
Hmm.
are all using these kind of machines, which give them instant result, because the RPM is what we say, rotation per minute, is very high. So it
Okay.
churns, it aerates at the same time. So I think it's quite a nice machine, very handy. It's expensive. Let's see if it is, it becomes pocket friendly, then it will be nice to use it at normal household also.
Yes, absolutely. So talking about machines, uh, I know running a restaurant is not easy, but it is also important to stay relevant in the market. So like introduction of these new machines and introduction of AI, so we can actually work with lesser staff. So I'm sure you must have faced few other challenges here and there. So
Mhm.
we want to know, what are the biggest challenges you have faced running a restaurant, being a chef in last decade? Because everybody talks about the glamorous and successful side of running things and owning things. Let's talk about the darker side or the challenges you might have
Yeah,
faced.
challenges is that they want you to be there every day. Like even if you have bad day in the life, still they don't look at us as human being. Sorry to say, we also have a life. We also have family. We also have festivals to celebrate in our life, which we sacrifice for.
Right.
Which I have no complaints, because I have only chosen this profession. So I think
Right.
no chef has any right to complain about it.
Right.
Challenges again, one bad day in life and you are gone. Okay, one small mistake, you are finished.
Hmm.
Now you can find eateries opening so much, okay, that no mistakes are given a leave for. Other
Hmm.
challenges is manpower, of course, because post COVID we have seen a lot of manpower from the chef side. They have turned into, they have changed their department,
Right.
because that time there was not even opportunities. So
Hmm.
we are in scarcity of good people, good attitude people who really
Hmm.
want to work. Also people want success in, like, in no time. They want to come saying that, what, I have done this, I have done that, now I want this kind of pay scale and all. So that doesn't fit in the kitchen to start
Hmm.
off. Okay, and you are just selling food. You can imagine the kind of margin which is, uh, plus, sorry, don't mind this, but there are so-called bloggers who are also becoming little extra smart, saying that I can make or break if you don't call
Right.
me.
Right.
So there are a lot of challenges. I mean, to entertain everyone, and you can imagine the kind of costs which are there to make restaurant, to run it, to consistently run it. It should be full every day to ensure that the staff get their salaries, the owner is able to pay the rent. That's why
Hmm.
in West you'll see that they work with lesser manpower,
Right.
because I see hardly any manpower. India is still good. We still have
Yeah.
people around us, but outside the costs are so high.
Hmm.
So I think we all should think about it and make merry time for both, for customer and staff.
Absolutely. Like there should be a harmony between for the restaurant owners and chef as well as the customers.
Plus
So,
the platform. I'll go back to your AI questions. There are
hmm,
a lot of platform. There are a lot of exhibition which is happening around the world. Like we
hmm,
just had Ahar,
okay,
where all these equipments, crockery, cutlery, glassware, new technology, live demonstration, how it was, whatever we are talking right now, at
hmm,
Ahar, it was there. So
right,
enthusiasts or chefs, whoever are watching, always block the date for these kind of exhibition, where you can go and personally witness those amazing culinary work.
hmm,
Next one is in Singapore. Uh,
okay,
Same Ahar, it's in Singapore, and before Ahar it was Gulf food.
okay,
So abroad, you see bigger, because all the machineries that we are talking about, it is mostly coming from outside India.
right,
So these are the exhibitions which happen frequently in the world for people to go experience. And then even Haldiram is using combi oven to bake or to air fry the samosas. So you can
right, right,
imagine.
right. I think Tabi they have less amount of oil
Oil,
in their
yes, yes,
bhaturas because
yes.
that's not a
Although although
traditional frying.
although Chinar, although frying in oil is not unhealthy, it is not
Unhealthy.
unhealthy.
Right.
Like if you fry three times in oil, then it becomes unhealthy. More than
Right.
three times, sorry to say. Then
Okay.
oil turns carcinogenic.
Hmm.
Otherwise, there's no harm in eating fried food. So just to
But
add.
I think balance should be there in your
Yeah,
diet.
yeah,
Like
of course.
once in a while, it should be, your meal, but
Indian
not
street food,
every
we have
day.
to be slightly careful.
Right. So I think what I got to understand from your conversation was staying relevant is really important because a lot of changes and
Yeah, yeah.
technological changes machines are coming up. So
Yes.
like you mentioned, you refer to West, for all of these machineries, and they operate with really less manpower. Do you see an impact of West on Indian culinary world as well, or is it still Indian style is, or Indian culinary world is still different?
No, I can definitely see an impact. Sorry to say, it is said that we are copycats. So we like to see what is happening around the world. So
Hmm.
we are always quoted in the kitchen that देखो ना वहाँ पर तो कितने कम में काम कर लेते, कितने कम लोगों में काम कर लेते हैं.
Right.
So तक still there is not in that manner the cut down of the costs are. But
Hmm.
looking at future, seeing future, I'm not surprised if we follow the same route, and we skill I mean really skin down our kitchen to a little bit of assistant. That is why equipments will play a major role in ensuring that the food is consistent.
Right, absolutely. So, do you also feel like I am in the US and I see people actually celebrate this Indian cuisine? They like it, they like the style of cooking, they like the ingredients, the spices. So, and when I visited Delhi last, I felt that the Indian market is really inspired by Western cuisine or European cuisine. So, why is that? Like, what are your thoughts on actually Indian cuisine or Indian market not appreciating their own cuisine and actually promoting the Western cuisines now?
So I think India is huge. We have takers for every cuisine. Let me put it in that way, Chinar. We
Hmm.
have takers for European cuisine. We have takers for Indian cuisine also. We can't live with our dal and chawal and our sabjis and our. So it is true. Ask any chef. They will give you the same answer. Having said that, we don't appreciate our food, our people. This is what it is. We
Hmm.
like to see what is happening abroad, and people want to see what is happening in India.
Right.
So yes, Indian food is very diverse. It is very south, east, west, north. They don't match. I mean, there's not even their language, not even their skin, not even anything, not even
Right.
how they eat. The culture is different. The civilization is different. The food is different. So look at South Indian food. It is, I mean, South Indian breakfast is top three in top three breakfast of the world.
Right.
So there's so many amazing stuff that once we take it to abroad, they always sum up our food saying that butter chicken and dal makhani. So when we serve them dosa and we serve them khandvis and doklas and paniyarams and all, they are very excited. And we have to take clean Indian food abroad. We should not do colorful Indian food by adding colors which are artificial, but not
Hmm.
lessing. Putting too much of stuff,
Hmm.
aromatic broth. Don't do that. Yeah, that's criminal, I would say. In fact, India also, there are various states who have banned colors now, which is
Hmm.
great. FSSI is also getting very controllable in terms of how people use their ingredients and all.
Hmm.
So, but yes, I think there's taker of every cuisine in our country.
Absolutely. I would like to refer one instance that happened with me here. I remember people think Indian food is just chicken tikka masala and naan. And I remember I had an American friend. I actually made him okra, bhindi ki sabzi, like we
Mm.
do it at our homes. And they didn't even know that okra is something that you can have like a sabzi. And that was a surprise to me. They never had, like, a lot of
There's small
Americans.
incidents. I also want to tell you a scenario about okra.
Right. So I felt like they were not introduced to okra as a vegetable. They never had it. They always felt that it is a slimy vegetable, and you are not supposed to have it, or they never had it or tried it. And when I felt like I made it and I made him try, he
It is
was
a
really
beautiful.
amazed with the spices and the blend of basically aromatics.
Look at Jaipuri
So
bhindi, Rajasthani
right.
bhindi, that chatkara, that chatpata wala is very amazing.
Right, right. So I think a lot of Indian cuisine is also like in West, like specifically in the US and other European places or anywhere in the world, people refer it to tikka masala and naan,
Yeah. Ah, yeah,
which is
that's it.
not true.
That's it.
So, yeah.
No, I agree with you. Completely agree. This is exactly what I'm doing at Rani. I've
Hmm.
got various vegetables. I have sweet potato also, shakar. I have yam also, which is yam ki galoti is doing very well at Rani.
Okay.
Of course, I have mushroom galoti. Mushroom is again it's a vegetable which is both liked by both India and of course Jains don't eat,
Hmm.
but liked by because of the umami character that mushroom
Hmm.
has.
Hmm.
I'm using a lot of, but still there's so much to show. Still
Right.
there's
Right.
so much to show. Like our greens, our saag. Just
Hmm.
sarson ka saag is what I think people know other, but there are various other greens which are super,
Hmm.
especially from east, are
And
phenomenal
nutritious and very nutritious, very
and
healthy.
highly nutritious and doesn't take any time to cook.
Right. Here, saag paneer is a very popular dish.
Yeah,
Like people know saag paneer. We
yeah,
have never tried it in India, like saag paneer, but here I got to try that. So I'm sure Rani, like since you have been associated with Rani, you must be doing an amazing job. And something I would want to refer back to our conversation once. Like you actually want to let people taste the real food of India, not the
yes,
Americanized version. So,
correct.
did you actually face any kind of rejection or less acceptance to the originality or the cuisine you wanted to showcase, or you were finding non-Indians very acceptable, like accepting your dishes, trying out your new dishes? How was
So,
your response?
Chinar, at this period of time, I mean, I really want to do good, and great destinations in the world.
Hmm.
So when I went to Rani, I was very sure that I don't want to do wrong stuff. So when the owners took me to different restaurants, I saw how people they must be doing it in their proper way. I'm not contemplating on the same, but
Hmm.
I saw so many things which are not right in my perception. So a lot of colors and all, and I came back and I told Pratik and Kinry saying that, listen guys, as much as I know, Indian cuisine is very vast and it is, I don't know when it started and not, but
Hmm.
this is not how we cook at home. So
Right.
let's give people how we cook at home.
Right.
They love this idea. Although the other team members say that निशांत शेफ ये नहीं चलता ऐसे यहाँ पर तो क्यों आएगा? Why do people come to a restaurant if they get home cooked? I said, guys, let's try this. Okay.
Hmm.
If it doesn't work, then I'll go back to India. Okay. And you guys can run the operation according to your wish.
Right.
So
Right.
Pratik
Right.
and Kindred, they loved it. So imagine, I mean, you can't even imagine like we cook food and then we if there's any leftover, we don't take it to the next day. We finish
Hmm.
it and then we prep again for the next day. So it is fresh, it is clean. You don't feel bloated. You feel healthy.
Hmm.
I think this is what our food is. This is how our moms and our family makes it.
Right.
So we have a lot of expats who are appreciating it, who are coming
Hmm.
back to us. So I think this is what I have done, and I am very clear on the same that whatever destination that I'm gonna create in the world, be it any cuisine, I'm not gonna do things which are not healthy or which is laced or which has got things which are not good for human consumption. So I'm very sure about it.
That's a very thoughtful insight that you shared, because something that you cannot eat, why would you
Yeah.
want to feed your audience or your
Correct.
customers?
Correct. Correct.
And I think
We
that's
are
a
the
very
creators.
thoughtful.
I think God has given us some kind of magic to create. So if
Right,
I do
right,
anything wrong, that means I'm not doing justice.
right, right. So, Chef Nishant, a lot of chef dream of opening their own places, right? So, from your experience and working in different countries, what would be that one advice for a chef who wants to open their dream place, that you would really appreciate them doing, or is a personal advice to a newbie?
Yeah, numbers. You should be good with numbers. Not with
Okay.
this industry doesn't only work with emotion.
Right.
This industry work with numbers. So you have to be very calculative. You have to literally, I would quote a community here called Sindhis. We can learn from them that
Right.
how they do business. So we might
Absolutely.
be great chefs, but we might not be great businessmen.
Right, right.
With the difference is the number. We are not calculative in our approach. We think, oh no, we let's give it the best of this. But what is the manpower cost? How much is the food cost? How do take out profits from here? This, if you learn, then you are good with business. Otherwise, very difficult, not easy.
Right.
It's not easy.
Like you mentioned, like just serving good food is not enough.
Not enough.
Marketing also plays a really
Yes,
important role.
yes. That's what I'm saying. You have to be calculative in all kind of costs.
Kind of number, right? So I feel I always tell people, like, for example, if I know of somebody's opening up a new place or new restaurant or new cafe, I always tell them, like, don't wait for your restaurant to start.
Hmm.
Just create pre hype about your restaurant, because if you are not hyping about your restaurant, who else will?
Yeah.
So do you think pre launch marketing of restaurants in this business actually is really important, and how does it benefit the restaurant when it opens actually?
I think previously it was not required, but now it is. I think that one should definitely hype it up. One
Hmm.
should definitely showcase. One should definitely involve agencies who can help. You are only a chef. You might be only 1%, but again, there are people who are doing good in their own field. So
Right.
like-minded people should come together and create this business for you. I think this is important. I think one should definitely
Absolutely.
do it.
Right. Like you mentioned, it's important to showcase in the audience, like showcase
Yes.
in the world that you have good skills. Let's out your story to the world and let
True.
them know.
True. True. Absolutely.
Like you have now, like you have written a book now. Do you think books are still a powerful way to establish yourself in this changing world where, people want everything to be done in quick ways or, short time period? What are your thoughts on that?
I watch this news channel of deep debates and all. There I see amazing people getting referred, getting quoted. So even
Hmm.
if they are not alive, still their thing is quoted that I read this book and this was the line that he spoke about, and they
Hmm.
they like to connect with that. So I think it's a great reflection of what you have done. Otherwise, how would you put it to the world? I mean, how would you put it to your family? How would you make your family and your entire world proud of you? You
Right.
should write. I think you should pen down, man. I mean, you should pen down and publish it.
Right. I think
It's
it's kind of
happiness.
creating a legacy for yourself
Yes,
and your
yes,
family, right?
yes.
It's
And
really
why only
important.
one? Do more.
Right. So I think the next project is another series of books you want to publish, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. Two in task already. So
That's awesome. Like not just one, but a series of
not
books.
just one, not just one.
Okay. So what exactly is the message of your book Stay With Indus that you published recently?
It's a message. It's a gratitude basically to people who have done greatness in my life. I
Hmm.
wanted to tell them that that you have done because whatever I am today is because of people who have made me. And of course, the signature recipes that I have done. People ask, "What are your signature recipes?" Now I have this. I can say, just take this. You'll find some of my signature dishes. They can go
Right.
back. They can make it. They can quote me on the social media once they make it.
Yes. Yes.
They can also
Absolutely.
tell me whether it is right or wrong.
I don't think there is right or wrong. I think it's
I
all about
mean, I
personal
mean, I hope it
preferences.
comes out as good as what I have written here. So that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
right. If people are actually using exact recipes, they would be
Yes.
recreating your
Yeah, yeah.
dishes and your recipes, right?
Yes. I mean, in my culinary demonstration, I'll take some books and I can distribute. I can give it to people who are very regular. They come. So for them, there's a
Hmm.
takeaway also from there.
Even I want to grab a copy whenever you're in US. I'm
Definitely.
waiting. If you have a e version also, I'm ready to just
Sure,
read it.
sure, sure. No, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yes, yes. So, Chef Nishant, it was wonderful to talk to you.
Pleasure.
And this conversation was amazing. And we've always had conversation behind the cameras every time. We shot videos, we discussed about ingredients, we talked about different cuisines. One last question would be, this chef who serves the entire world, who has served different people, like people from different countries, what is your go-to dish that you can have like for a week?
Yeah, I think fish curry is something that I'm just addicted to. Let me
Yes.
candidly accept it. And of course, dal chawal. Crave for dal chawal. and
Hmm.
aloo ka, bhujia and some tomato ki chutney is what very simple.
Okay.
And fish curry and rice is my staple. That I can, even if I wake up in the middle of the night, I still can eat that.
So fish curry, do you use specific kind of fish or do you
Rohu
stick
fish, rohu,
rohu?
rohu
Okay.
with bone,
Okay.
not
Okay.
boneless.
Okay. With bone. And why is that specifically with bone?
Bone is important. I mean, whenever you cook for people, again, you should cook meat with bone, because
Okay.
with the bone only the taste comes.
Right, right. The juiciness and
You
the
you cook
juices.
boneless and you cook with bone, you will find the difference.
Okay. This is one tip I'm gonna take because I always preferred eating boneless chicken or
Uh,
something. And now I'm gonna try with that and I'll see
try
the
it, try it,
difference.
try it. Believe me, it will come out better.
Right, right. So, it was such a pleasure, Chef, having
Thank,
you on my podcast, and thank you so much for your time. I know it's
thanks, Chinar.
late night in your like in India,
It's fine, it's fine.
but it's always fun catching up with you, discussing a lot of things. We might come up with another podcast with some different topics because this was just an introduction of our conversation, and
Let
we
me know.
can probably do a series for budding entrepreneurs in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. Let's keep doing it. I think this is a great platform, just like book, to share
Right.
our knowledge for people to benefit.
Right. I think podcasts are also something, books are definitely, it requires a lot of time, it
Yes,
requires a lot of resources. But I
yes,
think podcasts have given a lot of like platform to people who don't have that much of time, maybe,
true,
and
true.
resources. It's just, and it connects with people who are actively just watching YouTube on their way to somewhere. And it's very handy, I feel.
I
That
agree
is
with
also one thing.
I agree with
So we will do some more of it.
you. Look forward to meeting you. Once I'm in Rani, I'll request you to please come and enjoy the
Absolutely.
curated dishes that I have done.
Absolutely. We have to shoot some videos as well, again,
Sure, sure.
behind
Please,
the scenes.
please, please.